I received a message the other day from Klaus Krogh, who is the CEO and legendary typeset designer for 2K Denmark, and he told me that they have a new book that they are producing that is all about the Harper Collins Comfort Print typeset designs. And he asked me if I would like to receive a sample of this book that I believe is coming out in May. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's going to be coming out in May. And I told him, yes, I would love to see this. And so I'm going to show you what 2K sent me. So for those of you who don't know, the Comfort Print typeface designs are produced by 2K Denmark for Harper Collins Christian Publishing. So for example, Zondervan and Nelson Bibles have these Comfort Print designs for various translations. What I love about the Comfort Print is that, first of all, it is functional. It's something that you can read very easily at different sizes, which is really important when it comes to reading the Bible, because you really do need to have good use of space. And the Comfort Print designs are kind of bolder fonts, so even if you don't have the greatest eyesight, they are a bit easier to read for most people. But not only are they functional, they're also aesthetically pleasing, they look very nice, but a really unique thing about these fonts is that they were designed specifically for each translation that they are used for. So each Comfort Print design reflects the character and story of its respective translation. And that's what we're going to see in this sample book. But before we get to that, I do want to mention I've talked about Comfort Print before with fellow Bible reviewer Tim Wildsmith, and we did a pretty extensive conversation talking about our opinions on different Comfort Print designs and which ones are our favorites, so you can check out that video as well. But let's look at the sample that was sent to me from 2K Denmark. So the cover says, Designing Bible Typefaces, the Comfort Print Story, 7 Bible Typeface Families created by 2K Denmark for Harper Collins Christian Publishing. And then at the beginning here is a message from Klaus Krogh. So here's the contents, which shows you the various translations that the Comfort Print typesets have been designed for. You have the King James Version, the New King James Version, the New American Standard Bible, the New International Version, the New Revised Standard Version, the New English Translation, and Harper Collins Catholic Typeface. The specific translation sample that they sent to me was the New American Standard Bible, which is really fitting because I am partial to this particular Comfort Print typeface, but also I know a lot of people on my channel like the New American Standard Bible translation. So the sample here tells about the New American Standard Bible typeface, and in this book you're going to see this kind of information about all of the different translation typefaces. So it starts off with some background about the translation itself, and then it talks about the inspiration for the typeface. It says for the previous Comfort Print type families, 2K had based the creative foundation on classic Roman or traditional Renaissance typefaces. The NASB went even farther back. Since it was closer to the original languages, 2K went back to the original languages and their scripts to find inspiration. To be exact, back to the period right before the birth of Christ, right between the Old and the New Testament, back to the Aramaic language as it was spoken and written by Jews like Jesus. So they looked at Aramaic inscriptions for inspiration for the NASB typeface. And you can see an example of one here. It says, this limestone slab is inscribed with an Aramaic Hatran inscription. The name of the city, Hatra, appears. It is dated 1st to 3rd century AD and is on display at the Iraq Museum in Baghdad. And that gives you a look at what these inscriptions look like, and that's in the Aramaic language. A little further down shows another sample of an Aramaic inscription, and it says, in this stone inscription, Klaus Krogh found the perfect inspiration for the NASB typeface, a clean, focused, and unadorned design for a clean, focused, and unadorned translation. The monoline style represents the straight line, the shortest direct path from the original to the current language. So for those of you who like the NASB, I'm sure you find that very meaningful, the inspiration and the reasoning behind why they designed the typeface the way that they did for the NASB. Really representative of a translation that goes back and tries to be very accurate, very representative of the original languages. So here's a sample of the NASB Comfort Print. And you'll notice that in the NASB, when the New Testament quotes the Old Testament, it uses all caps. And there's a very interesting thing in this book about that. It says in the NASB scripture text, whenever in the New Testament an author quotes the Old Testament, the text is set in capital letters. Proper typesetting would use small caps for these texts, as a block of all caps words would appear too loud on the page. But even small caps are often a bit too emphatic. For this reason, 2K in this typeface, developed exclusively for the NASB, included an even smaller line of capital letters called petite caps. So what we were looking at here, this Old Testament quote in the New Testament, are these specially designed petite caps, specifically designed for this font design in the NASB. And then the book goes on to show you what the fonts look like in different forms. They have the serif form with the lines at the end of the letters, and the sans serif form of the font without the lines. And then they show you a sample of the typeset in print. So this is what the NASB looks like. And I really like this design, especially when it's in verse by verse format. I think it just has a really organized, clean look to it. And I think this is an example of one in sans serif. So I think this book will really give people an appreciation for the design choices that went into each of the Comfort Print styles, and help people understand this wasn't arbitrary. There's a reason that they designed each font, each typeset the way that they did. And for those of you who are real design people, you're very artistic, you like to understand and see the creative process behind this sort of thing, this book is going to be really interesting for you. But also for people who are just more Bible nerds, people like me who just are interested in anything related to the Bible and its production, this book will also be interesting to us as well. What I'm so excited about with this book is really understanding how the design of each of these Comfort Print typefaces correlates with the translation, and really getting more of the deep background information about that. Because as you could see in the sample they sent, there's really a lot to it. And they put a lot of thought and care into how they designed each of these typefaces. I'd like to thank 2K Denmark for sending me a sample of this book, and I do look forward to reviewing the whole book when it comes out. If you have any questions or comments about this, I'd love to see that in the comments section. But thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from A Frisch Perspective.